Hi, and welcome to Questionable Ethics. I'm Elizabeth, and I make up your morning show team, the Inquisitive Instigators. The article of the book I'll be talking about today is called Cosmetic Surgery and the Internal Morality of Medicine, written by Franklin Miller, Howard Brody, and Kevin Chung. Now, these authors make the case that the performance of cosmetic procedures actually shouldn't be considered inside the realm of medicine, and that it's an ethically questionable practice, one which doesn't align with the internal morality of medicine. And this is something they define as the framework consisting of goals proper to medicine, role-specific duties, and clinical virtues. And I think that there is validity in the argument that they make that cosmetic surgery, as it's typically understood as this purely superficial thing with no medical benefits, can fall outside the realm of medicine, and that advertising it as a consumer good can be misleading or unprofessional. However, I don't necessarily agree with their concept that the marketing of cosmetic surgery should be considered morally impermissible. It does get marketed as a service. However, so do most of the medical procedures rendered in the United States, because our medicine isn't socialized. So that means basically all the services, medical services rendered in the US are done on an ability to pay basis. And so that this could be a slippery slope then, and mean that all services which a patient has to pay for would be impermissible to advertise, meaning that healthcare would ultimately need to be socialized in order for most medical procedures and treatments to be permitted. All of which is in addition to the fact that allowing advertising for medical procedures actually gives patients the power of greater autonomy, just in their medical decisions in general, because then they know more to ask the relevant questions for options that are available to them. And then just an additional hole that exists in their argument, in my opinion, is another question of autonomy, actually, through the ability to receive a procedure that will improve mental health and overall well-being for a potential patient. These authors identify the main goals of medicine as the prevention of disease and the maintenance of health, the relief of pain and suffering, the care and cure of maladies, and the avoidance of premature death. It should be factored into their argument that self-esteem exists as a major aspect of mental health itself. And it's widely understood that there are societal pressures to look a certain way, and they really cause low self-esteem. And we know that can be a major cause of just self-injurious and harmful behaviors in general, and even suicide for some individuals who feel that pressure so immensely that leads to major mental health issues. And providing the service of cosmetic surgery to fix the issue in question would then constitute for a relief of suffering and possibly even like the avoidance of premature death. So conclusion being, cosmetic procedures do serve the purposes of true medicine and should continue to be treated as such. And that's really all I have for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something new today, and hopefully I'll see you next week on Questionable Ethics.